Blackjack, ho. That's right. That's right. Shout out to my car.
A lot of these black guys today, these gangster type guys, they all got names like that they make up for themselves.
Is that true?
Sure. He means like the rappers. You know, the rappers, they all got names like that. Snoop Doggy Dogg, Ice Cube, Q-Tip, Method Man.
I don't know anything about that. But it makes me think about Indians.
You know, I think you're not supposed to say Indian either.
No way, really?
Yeah. I think you're supposed to call them African Americans. African Americans.
African Americans?
It comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you.
Use a real naga, throw a feather up. Tribe up, my naga, put your bows and arrows up. The stronghold of the naga ain't scared of us. They try to dumb a naga down, but we leveled up. Yeah. Strictly for my nagas.
Africa. I remember when they were marching, people started screaming in the suburbs, back to Africa with them. Back to Africa with who? Shit, I ain't never been to Africa. Don't send me home, send me to St. Louis, big dummy. 4461 in right, top floor. Africa, what the hell I look like? Standing in the jungle with a $750 mohair suit and some alligator shoes. Shit. That's not hunting garb. I'm here all the way.
Now who sent you, nigga?
Nobody sent me.
Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over. And I ain't playing, nigga. Shut up! Before I bust a cap up in your ass.
Biatch.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Et l'Amérique négrée. Au bon sauvage. Au négré l'Amérique.
See, now what we have here is a failure to communicate.
You big dummy.
Every single morning, I take a cannabis gummy and go for a walk. You're probably wondering how I
Now who sent you, nigga?
Nobody sent me.
Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over. And I ain't playing, nigga. Great day, Tribe Up. Hey, shout out to all my new members. Everybody that hit that membership and got their membership on, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the support. We in the stronghold of the Naga. And we tribing up on them, y'all. And I appreciate all y'all support. Salute. If you want to support, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. You know, that's the easiest thing to do. If you want to support monetarily, you can hit the cash out. We got it at the top of the screen, cash out. Cash.app/$ House of Masculinity. You can also go to our merchandise store, www.strictlyformanagas.com. You know, it's all kind of ways you can support. And like I said in the beginning, if you want to become a member, we got memberships on 3 levels. So go ahead and choose one. We're about to get into the show tonight, y'all. Salute to all my comrades. Salute to the whole tribe. All my brothers and sisters worldwide. We're in the stronghold of the Naga, the Americas. You know what I'm saying? Salute. And the title of tonight's show, All in the Family. Eurasians, Neanderthals, and Denisovans. Salute. You big dummy.
Gotch.
Eurasians, Neanderthals, and Denisovans, all in the family. Y'all saw the thumbnail. We got Tarzan meet Jane. They got the little chimp with her. They got the chimpanzee, right? Yeah, all in the family, you know. So that's what we named the live stream tonight. And we're going to talk about this, you know, this all in the family. What does Blackjack mean by all in the family? Eurasians, Neanderthals, and Denisovans. Salute. What do I mean by that? We're gonna get right on into it. But before we get into that, let me turn this on down for a minute. Before we get into the main topic, I want to start off with a little intro. I want to do a quick little review on my man John Levy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go on over there and subscribe to John Levy, JONLEVI. You know what I'm saying? John Levy. I fuck with John Levy. You know what I'm saying? Dude make great content. Salute to the brother John Levy. And we're going to review one of his videos. We ain't going to watch the whole thing. We're going to just watch a little sneak peek of it. But it's called The Reset Timestamp, Native American Intro. Salute. And we on it right now. John Levy, you know, The Reset Timestamp, Native American Intro. In quotations, Native American Intro in quotations. That's the name of his video. Let's see what John talking about. Let me make sure I got the volume up so y'all can hear. Salute to John Levy one more time. Go subscribe to his channel. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Fair use. We're doing it for educational purposes.
Here I want to look
Hey, I'm feeling that intro, by the way. Salute to John Levy.
at a Seneca man. I should have shared all this days ago when it was fresh on my mind. Really fascinating decor.
Fair
his
use.
metal work, very intricate, leather, and his ear gauges. and even the split on this side. Absolutely fascinating. And look at this hat. Who has a hat like this? And
fair use, YouTube. Like I said, we're doing this for educational purposes.
some of you may be asking, who are the Seneca? The Seneca are said to be some of the oldest Native Americans in North America. So before Christopher Columbus supposedly arrived, we have this guy and a whole people like him running around North America. And in the past I made a video showcasing various Native American tribes that look
like what, John? John finna tell you what they look like. Salute to John Levy.
African, or what we are told.
Let's back that up a minute.
Seeing various Native American tribes that looked African, or what we are told is African.
What we are told.
And theorized that these may have been some of the original people to this land, and the whole slaves and importing Africans as slaves was a falsity. And
salute to John Levy one more time.
Biatch.
You big dummy.
Brother telling the truth. I'm gonna run it back one more time. For the noggins in the back, that ain't him. Let's run it back. Salute to John Levy. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Go subscribe to John Levy.
here I want to look at a Seneca man. I should have shared all this days ago when it was fresh on my mind. Really fascinating decor. This metal work, very intricate. Leather, and his ear gauges, and even the split on this side. Absolutely fascinating. And look at this hat. Who has a hat like this? And some of you may be asking, who are the Seneca? The Seneca are said to be some of the oldest Native Americans in North America. So before Christopher Columbus supposedly arrived, we have this guy and a whole people like him running around North America. And in the past I made a video showcasing various Native American tribes that looked African, or what we are told is African. And theorized that these may have been some of the original people to this land, and the whole slaves and importing Africans as slaves was a falsity. And
alright, salute to John Levy one more time. Y'all go subscribe to John Levy. John Levy. Jonlevi. Title of this video is Reset Timestamp. In quotation, Native American intro, where John Levy is discussing the truth about your ancestry. He telling the truth about the Naga. He telling the truth about who you is and who you ain't. Salute. Salute to John Levy. I fucks with John Levy heavy. So moving on, let's get into the topic of the night. Let's get into the topic of tonight's show. And the topic of tonight's show was all in the family. Eurasians, Neanderthals, and Denisovans.
You big dummy.
Salute.
Biatch.
All in the family. Eurasians, Neanderthals, and Denisovans. Now let's get to it. Well, we're going to start off with Google. All I did was Google Neanderthal DNA. As you can see right here at the top of my Google search, Neanderthal DNA. Neanderthal DNA comes up as the percentage of Neanderthal DNA in modern humans is 0 or close to 0 in people from so-called African population. Now, when they're saying this, they mean so-called Negroes. That means the Nagas, right? Because they think all Nagas came from Africa, even though we know that's a lie. Nagas came from everywhere on the planet, not just one place. Nagas came from every land on the planet, not just one place, not just Africa. That out of Africa theory is a lie. If you believe the out of Africa theory, if you believe all men migrated from Africa, you also believe all men came from monkey.
You big dummy.
Biatch.
Now, I don't know about you, but I ain't come from no monkey. So I don't believe the out of Africa theory. I know that the Naga was on every land, not just one. So that's what they mean by African population. They talking about Negroes. And say the Neanderthal DNA, the percentage of Neanderthal DNA in modern humans is 0 or close to 0 in people from so-called African populations. And is about 1 to 2% in people of European or Asian background. And that's from what does it mean to have your Neanderthal or Denisovan DNA on MedinePlus.gov. All right, moving along. What ethnicities have the highest Neanderthal DNA? Let's click on that and see what that says. Who got the highest Neanderthal? East Asians seem to have the most Neanderthal DNA in their genome, followed by those of European ancestry. So East Asians, then next to them Europeans got the most Neanderthal. East Asians and European, and this is what a Neanderthal look like. That is not a man. That is some kind of primate. Some would say monkey, but that is definitely not a man. They would say kind of like a man, or in other words, mankind. Salute.
You big dummy.
Biatch.
That's what a Neanderthal is. And they said the people that got it the most is the East Asians, and second, the Europeans. And then they say the Negroes have none. That's what they just told us. All right. So it say, what does Neanderthal DNA do to humans? What are Neanderthal DNA traits? What is the highest percentage of Neanderthal DNA? What race is closest to Neanderthal? What race has no Neanderthal DNA? The information generally reported, people from so-called African population, the Negro, we just read that, right? All right, do so-called Native Americans have Neanderthal DNA? We're going to get to that. All people of Native American heritage also retain Neanderthal DNA. Salute all the people on the Dawes Roll.
You big dummy.
Biatch.
You know, the $5 pretenders, all of them got Neanderthal DNA. Interestingly, we found that USR1 carries a slight excess of Denisovan ancestry also, compared to some Native American groups. So the so-called Native Americans, the $5 pretenders, you know, the fakers, the ones that's on the Dawes Rolls, you know, the ones that look like the fake Geronimo, you know, all of those people, they look like the Eurasians. It says they got Neanderthal and, interestingly, an excess amount of Denisovan DNA. And we're going to get into that. You know, so we're going to get into that. Look at that. What percentage of Neanderthal DNA is in so-called Native Americans? You know what I'm saying? Look at all this. It's red hair Neanderthal trait. You know what I'm saying? What people have the oldest DNA? All these different questions, right? Well, let's go back up for a minute. Let's get into this, what ethnicity has the highest. East Asians followed by Europeans, right? That's what it just said. And then it said the Native Americans, the ones on the Dawes Road, the Pretendians, it said they carry both too, because we know they are Eurasians. We know they are European and Asians mixed. We know they are East Asian mixed with European. They call themselves Native Americans, but they're not native to America. They're not Aborigines of America. They're not primordial. You know what I'm saying? They're not indigenous to America. They are not at all. They are indigenous to East Asia and Europe. And that's why they carry the most Neanderthal DNA in East Asia, and then in Europe, followed by Europe. And then the so-called Native Americans, the $5 Pretendians, interestingly, they got a slight excess of Denisovan, and all people of their cult, their tribe, their fake tribe heritage, retain Neanderthal DNA, proving that they are Eurasian, European and Asian mix. And the Negro has none. All right, moving on. Now, are Cherokee Indians Eurasians? Look at them. We just read that they are. We definitely know these $5 Pretendians Eurasian, European and Asian mix, Denisovan in them. You know what I'm saying? Neanderthal in them. You know what I'm saying? 93% same DNA as a rhesus monkey. And say, are Cherokee Indians Eurasian? If they are, do I say I'm what? It says right here, May 2nd, 2021, yes. Both East Asians, we just read that, East Asians and Native Americans descended from the same source population ultimately from mainland Southeast Asia. How can they be Native Americans if they descend from Southeast Asia? They descended from Southeast Asians. Although Native Americans also blah blah blah. The Cherokee, look at that. You probably wouldn't be in it asking. Look at that. See, look, Southeast Asia, East Asians, Native Americans. They're not native to Americans. They should be called Native East Asians. These Kung Fu Asians. We just read that all the people of Native America also have Neanderthal DNA, right? And then a slight excess of Denisovan ancestry, right? We just read East Asians, right? Seem to have the most Neanderthal DNA in their genomes. Followed by the Europeans. And they European and East Asian. They Eurasians. They are Eurasians. They are mankind, kind of like a man. They're not native to America. They're not indigenous to America. They calling themselves Native Americans. They got Denisovan and Neanderthal ancestry, and they are native to East Asia. East Asia and Europe, not America. Not America. Our Cherokee Indians, Eurasian. Yes. Yes, both East Asian and Native Americans descended from the same source population. Ultimately from mainland Southeast Asia. Although Native Americans, what? Yeah, hold up, wait a minute. Somebody put a monkey in it.
You big dummy.
Biatch.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make changes.
Yeah, my naga. Know what I'm saying? They don't really want to play no games with us over here. This the wrong tribe to be effing with. You know what I'm saying? You find all the pretendians that like to slide up in here and be eavesdropping on the real naga. You know what I'm saying? The jig is up. We know who y'all is. We know who y'all ain't. Pack your little monkey up and go back to East Asia and Europe, where you came from. Go back where you came from. You come over here in our country, you're telling us we ain't the real ones and you the real one. Talking about you a Native American. When you know damn well the Naga is the Aborigine. The Naga is the Tamarican. The Naga is the...
Et l'Amérique négrée.
You called the Naga the...
Au bon sauvage. Au négré l'Amérique.
You called the Naga the...
Negret.
You know what I'm saying? The Naga is the real American Indian. So-called black people. So-called African Americans. Code word. Legalese. All that really mean the true American Indian is the so-called black man of America. The real American Indian is the quote-unquote black people of America. The real American Indian is falsely labeled an African American.
You big dummy.
Biatch.
Let's get it right. When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. John Levy told y'all. John Levy sat there and told y'all. Yeah, that was whole hijack lie. John Levy, he told y'all. John Levy told y'all in plain English. If you don't want to hear it from me, let's hear John tell it one more time. Salute to John Levy. Go subscribe.
Here I want to look at a Seneca man. I should have shared all this days ago when it was fresh on my mind. Really fascinating decor. This metal work, very intricate. Leather and his ear gauges and even the split on this side. Absolutely fascinating. And look at this hat. Who has a hat like this? And some of you may be asking, who are the Seneca? The Seneca are said to be some of the oldest Native Americans in North America. So before Christopher Columbus supposedly arrived, we have this guy and a whole people like him running around North America. And in the past I made a video showcasing various Native American tribes that looked African, or what we are told is African, and theorized that these may have been some of the original people to this land, and the whole slaves and importing Africans as slaves was a falsity.
It was a falsity. It was a falsity. Salute.
You big dummy.
They ain't have to import no slaves when they got plenty of Nagas right here. If anything, they enslaved the Indians right here. We know the Indian tribes, like the fake Indians, like the Dawes Roads Indians. You know what I'm saying? The U.S. government created tribe, the Cherokee. We know they was spying, they agents. You know what I'm saying? They threw some feathers on, spied on the Naga, and then helped enslave the Naga and take the land. They helped cede the land through the Dawes Road Act and all this here, cede the land to the U.S. government. Man, we about this real history, man. We ain't about that fake stuff, man. A lot of people out here, you know, they want to sell you any story. They want you to stick to the narrative. They don't want to question nothing. They want to say we dangerous because we read in books and we looking at other stuff. We ain't put our hands on nobody. They really don't want it to come to that. If we dangerous for reading, imagine what would be if we decided to defend ourselves. Salute.
You big dummy.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm trying to make this thing grow, y'all. Share the channel, man. Pass this off to every Naga you know, man. You know, we got to keep this coming. We got to let them know we on their ass, man. I'm Blackjack, this house of masculinity. Respect my house. We'll let the door not hit your ass with the most high split your ass. And we out.
It comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when we were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you.
Use a real Naga, throw a feather up. Tribe up, my Naga, put your bows and arrows up. The stronghold of the Naga ain't scared of us. They try to dumb a Naga down, but we leveled up. Yeah. Strictly for my Nagas.
Africa. I remember when they were marching, people started screaming in the suburbs, back to Africa with them. Back to Africa with who? Shit, I ain't never been to Africa. Don't send me home, send me to St. Louis, Missouri. 4461 in right, top floor. Africa, what the hell I look like standing in the jungle with a $750 mohair suit and some alligator shoes. That's not hunting garb.
Now who sent you?
I'm here all the way.
Nobody sent me.
Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over.